Hello artists and welcome to this new painting video. In this video I'm going to show you how I painted this portrait in oil paint, this portrait with a honey drizzle. It is quite rare for me to paint this kind of portrait. I haven't had many opportunities before, and honey, when you paint it, has colors that are a bit specific, especially in the shadows, so I'm going to show you how I did it. And I am starting this portrait with the eye, an eye that is normally not blue originally. In my reference photo it is more of a green eye, but it's not very complicated to change the color of an eye. What you can do to change the eye color, like I did, is to start from a black and white photo, meaning we take our model, we turn the photo into black and white, and then in black and white we can clearly distinguish light areas, dark areas, and intermediate tones. And from there I'm going to start creating a blue, and I'm going to create several variations of this blue, from something very light to something very dark. And then when I work on the iris of the eye, I know, for example, here is where I will place my darkest color, here will be my lighter color, and so on. I like starting with the eye, especially on a large portrait, because it tells me whether my painting is heading in the right direction or if there are any adjustments to make, if I need to adapt more in some areas. That's why painting the eyes first lets you know if you are heading in the right direction or not. And usually I like painting both eyes at the same time, but on this portrait I didn't, and I honestly don't even remember why. But anyway, you can always find the same colors again later to paint the second eye without much difficulty. The essential thing is to move forward intuitively and enjoy the moment and paint the areas you really feel like painting. And I wanted to move forward this way, so that's what I did. Now I'm working on the mouth, and even though usually on a portrait it's not the area you notice the most, here on such a large portrait with a true close-up on the face, every little detail becomes important. And here the mouth will be extremely detailed with lots of tiny folds to work on to make it very realistic. It is the same with the teeth. Usually we apply a light gray with a few lighter touches here and there, but here I really need to work on the detail of the teeth. And that's often the case when painting a very large canvas and when you have a close-up. All the little facial elements become much more detailed, and you have to detail them a lot if you want the artwork to look truly realistic, almost like it's about to come out of the canvas. For example, I am adding a lot of detail to the teeth, but I'm also adding lots of details to the skin. You may have already seen it when I worked on the cheek and the nose area. I'm trying to add as many tiny pigments of different colors as possible, and all the small folds I am marking them too to achieve a very realistic results. Now I am working on the second area on the left side, and this area is much more in shadow, which will have a big impact on my skin tones. They are going to become much darker, and the colors will have a much more neutral, much less intense tone than the right side. For the shadowed area, I am using a color that is really magical. Burnt umber. This color allows me to darken all the colors on my palette, but also to reduce the intensity of the color. And for shadow areas that is perfect, because we get tones that are very low intensity. And this skin area is almost finished, and I'm going to start working on the honey drizzle we can see on the rest of the face. The challenge with the honey drizzle is to create the impression that the honey is appearing in 3 dimensions on top of the skin. And to achieve that, it requires good observation of the different colors and values. It's really the work on darker yellow oranges with slightly lighter areas that will help to create the impressions of that the drops are about to run over the eyes, and that in some places it is thicker and in others it looks more liquid and transparent. And so everything comes down to color, and to mastering color really helps you to create some portraits that look realistic and in 3 dimensions. And so that's almost the end of this video, so thank you very much for watching it. Now, if you want to learn how to paint realistic portraits like this one, feel free to check the link in the description to get access to my complete course and dozens of hours of tutorials to learn how to paint portraits, animals, landscapes, and many other things. So thank you very much for watching, and see you very soon with another video.